Hey every guys, my name is Jay. This video is going to be a little different from the other ones. Generally I'm a bit kind of on in terms of comedy, I play a bit of a character or I'm overemphasizing certain parts of me to try and be entertaining and maintain jokes and maintain continuity, but for this video in particular I'm not really going to be doing all of that. This is just me. And there's a particular reason that I'm doing that. First and foremost, today is December 2nd, 2023. Today's date is special to me because it is 2 years from the date that I released a personal art film on this channel. It's the first film that I've ever made that I released publicly, and the response that it got was my proudest moment as a YouTuber. To have kind of bared myself in front of the internet and been like, this is me, this is what I think, this is how I feel, and to have the level of love and encouragement that was. So it's been a little bit more reflective today. I've been thinking about this film, which is called Love, Death and Mario Kart. If you've joined the channel recently in the last few years, or you're one of the more recent 500 subscribers that I've gained since I just started uploading again 2 weeks ago, Love, Death and Mario Kart is an art film. It has a lot of visual layered elements. It's narrated, it's me talking about my life over archival footage from my first few cameras, and talking about my life from my childhood into my late teens and my attitudes towards mental health and recovery from insomnia and dysthymia. And Love, Death and Mario Kart kind of comes out of that era of still being on the back end of that and trying to make sense of my recovery from that and trying to pick up the pieces and become a functional adult. Love, Death is singular for me in the way that it is so personal. There's shots of my hometown, the song choices, the songs that got me through high school, even down to the editing style and the color correction and the use of different footage and aspect ratios is all stuff that I chose for myself. It's a project that is built entirely out of myself, and that is something that was extremely painful to do. It's very hard to be that vulnerable and kind of say this is exactly who I am, this is what I think, and I'm going to present this to you just unfiltered. That's a little bit of what Love, Death means to me. So if you watch it and you connect with it, or you watch it and you're not sure what's going on, that's essentially the intention behind that project. I think it's interesting to note as well with the channel, you've probably heard this a lot from YouTubers, but I do get a bit of imposter syndrome, both in my own life because it's going really well and also on YouTube as well. So I don't feel like someone who has 30,000 subscribers normally. It doesn't feel real to me at all. The way that I operate on the channel is that I try and think about it as a core 3,000 people who will always show up, and I'm kind of making stuff for them and making stuff for myself. Because if I try and think of it in a way of oh, I'm gonna get 100,000 people in and I'm gonna show them all of this stuff, it becomes very overwhelming. I don't know how to internalize that at all. So sometimes in those moments where you remember where you came from and how little you had a few years ago, as someone who has come out of having nothing, it's quite emotional. The last few days have been a bit hard because I've had to reflect on how far up the mountain I am since making Love, Death. It feels like I'm a totally different person. But on top of that, I just wanted to talk a little bit about the channel and mcskewl and what I want it to be, and just kind of give a mission statement. So mcskewl to me is many different things. It started off as Minecraft on the school toilets when I was making TF2 shitposts, so very short Eric Andre style absurd humor videos and loud blasting distorted memes. So that was what the meta was in 2017, 2018, 2019ish. And I was the foremost creator to come out of the scene with that. I brought in a kind of newer generation element to the Team Fortress 2 content scene at the time, and I think that's where a lot of my fame came from, was that I was riding a wave. I would upload and get 100k, 200k every time. As the channel has gone on, as I've taken extended breaks to work on myself and my own life and kind of shift my focus elsewhere depending on how I felt about Team Fortress 2 and what I needed to accomplish to come back to the channel, it's changed as well to me. The channel used to be kind of a lifeboat where I wasn't going well at 17 and 18 and I could come online and get validation and get a sense of community and receive a sense of positivity that I didn't really possess in my life at the time. I don't come from a particularly good place. If you're out there and you have an abusive or neglectful family, or you just come from not a very good place with many opportunities and it's etc, you probably know what I'm talking about. But I'm grateful for these things, and I'm grateful to have the channel there as a sort of backdrop against my life, because it reminds me of how far I've come and how much work I've had to do and how proud I can be of myself. I think if you can accept that you've actually advanced in yourself and you've gained something, that's as important, if not more important, than someone else seeing that or someone else telling you that you've done well. I have always tried to run mcskewl and Minecraft on the school toilets in a format that is uplifting. So I never wanted to make troll content where I would just go and fuck with people and make fun of them, you know what I mean? I would really like to build a positive community. I'd really like to build a community with a level of awareness and like lived in wariness to it, where people are aware of what I'm trying to do and how I'm trying to maintain like a positive and nice and safe space for people to exist. Namely because of my own perception of the internet has made me aware of kind of a loss of that over the last few years. It feels like the internet has become a very like post-sincere place where you can't really exist without being challenged or kind of commodified in some sense, and then part of that is the consolidation of mass tech companies into one another, but that's an entirely different essay for another day. And I want there to be a genuine kind of like community and a sense of belonging to it, which you don't see very often because of how YouTube has become. I would like to have almost like an old YouTube channel. But yeah, for today I just wanted to kind of break even and break character a little bit for those who have not heard me speak seriously about life or things in general. This is what it's like. Here's the sort of community that I intend to build. Here's a milestone of a film 2 years ago that I recommend, and here's a little bit about that film. And then also some of my future plans with the channel, like reaching 50k. These sort of like areas on the internet where there's pockets of positivity and like calmness are becoming increasingly rare. So by making this overt statement of intent, I'm hoping to kind of very expressly say I would like mcskewl to be XYZ. I'd like it to be positive, I'd like it to be calm as far as the community goes. Thank you so much for the support again, thank you so much, I'm extremely grateful. This channel has had a massive positive impact on my life. It helped me, it was a lifeboat to me when I was a lot younger, and now I'm trying to give a lot of that love and energy back essentially. So if you've just joined, if you're watching this video and you don't know who I am and it's your first ever mcskewl video, welcome. If you're someone from 5 years ago in 2018 with like the JFK assassination video, my first ever TF2 upload, thank you so much for sticking with me. And I do have more uploads planned for this weekend, so I'll see if I can get any of them out, but yeah, that's about it from me. Appreciate you guys. Catch you later. Have a good one.